We get all on the side, so we're just gonna take a one side. Thank you. Turn off. Hello? Sorry, I can't hear very well. The phone doesn't work well. Can you hear me? You can hear me well? No, really, I need the high chair. Yes, I'm in canes. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Okay. So let's start the class. Okay. Oh. So good evening, everyone. You guys happen to have your nameplate? No? Okay. If possible, would you be able to help me to bring your nameplate for the first few classes? I would love to remember your name. Okay? So please have it out. I'm more visualizing, so it'll help me out. Okay, so let's start the class. Okay, I have 3 of you here. Am I online as well? My student online, can you guys see me? I am not sure. How does this work? Wait, let me see, here. Cancel. How does this thing work? Hi, Sita. Sita, I don't have the option. The option. Can you show me how? I think it's hidden, but I don't know how to leave. Oh, you can press escape. Oh, escape? Yes. Oh, every time if I put escape, it will be there?
Yes.
Okay.
There's an option if you want to hide it.
I don't want to hide it.
Okay.
I can't find it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sita. All right. Okay. So, all right, I see a lot of the students coming online. If you guys can hear anything, just use your mic and let me know. It happened before that I talked for 20 minutes and the students couldn't hear me at all. So let me know for the student only. All right, so let's make a brief introduction of myself. So my name is Janet, and I'll be your lecturer for the FAU class. I have been teaching at CAMED for quite a while, actually. For more than 11 years. Yeah, so I used to teach at PA for the BA program in the morning. I taught mostly FAU as my main topic. I also taught F2 and everyone before. And so now I have switched to teaching at CAT due to my family commitments. What else would you guys need to know about me? Maybe a little bit of my background, if you guys want to know. So, I did my studies in Canada, in Montreal. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that city. Probably no. Probably going to Canada, you guys know Vancouver or Toronto. Toronto, right? So I grew up in Montreal, and I actually did my high school here in Cambodia a while back. I studied in French. So I did the French, they kept the French International School right here. Okay. And then when I went back, I went to a business school. I did the chartered accountant. So I graduated and worked at PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers as auditors. And I also took a sabbatical year, so I took a year off to teach at the university when I was back in Canada as a teacher assistant, kind of like a Uno helping out. And after that, due to my family commitment, I came back to Cambodia, and I have been with CAMED ever since. So that's a little bit of my background. So for my audit, audit, when I was working at PricewaterhouseCoopers, I mostly audited financial companies, like bank, insurance, so I was more in the financial field. And now, I teach part-time at school, and I also work part-time in an audit and accounting firm, like an audit and tax firm, in the internal control and internal accounting department, okay? So that's a little bit of my background. I also would like to know your background. So I don't know if you guys have seen in my classroom, I actually have, where's my classroom? Did I close it? No, here. Okay, so in my classroom here, if you look at the stream, I have posted an assignment for you guys. It's a get to know you. So it's a Google form. It's just, you don't have to do it now, but you can do it at break time or whatever. It's a quick question. It's gonna take you probably 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. I just want to know if you're in my BA program or CAT class, and then just few questions quickly. I just wanted to know if you guys are working, if you guys are studying. Is it your first CAT class? Is it your first class at Camet? Things like that, okay? So I can actually have a pick. Among you guys who are here today, who among you guys are working? You guys are all working. Who are my CAT students? CAT students. All CAT students? All right, great, okay. I guess probably some of my BA students are online. Okay, so, all right, so I won't waste the time and get to know you individually. I'll have a look. So please, that's your homework for this week. Please submit your little bit of detail. If you guys are working, could you let me know where you're working? I just want to know your background. So if ever I need some example, I could ask you guys when we're doing on, okay? So that's the first thing I have for you guys, a little introduction. Do you guys have any questions for me about me that you would like to know? Nothing much? No? Okay. Is it okay with my English and accent? You guys understand well? If you guys don't understand or you want me to repeat or say slower, just raise your hand and let me know. Okay, I'm pretty approachable, so just let me know and I'll explain again. Do not hesitate. All right, I would love to know your name because by the end of the term, since we're not a lot in the class, it was mostly by a very intimate classroom, and you guys can ask me any questions and have a lot more discussion. I will ask you guys questions. All right, I want you guys to participate. So please don't get surprised when I'll ask you guys for some input. Okay. All right. So today, as our first class, we have a little introduction for FAU. Okay. What is the most important thing you guys want to know? The first thing you want to know about FAU. What do you guys want to know? Yes? What's the most important thing you guys are more concerned about? How to pass the exam, right? So I think the first thing you guys would love to know about is how's the exam in FAU. So let's have a look. Okay. So FAU, very important to realize, it's gonna be slightly different with your other exams. Your other exams are mostly multiple choice. Well, guess what? In FAU, you won't get that anymore. It's a blank page, and you need to write your own answer. All right? So that makes it FAU a quite challenging class to pass. Okay? I'm not sure about the pass rate this term. We had an amazing result. I don't know if you guys follow CAMED's Facebook. The top score worldwide. The first top score worldwide is from Cambodia for FAU. From Maria's class, right? So that's an amazing result. Also for FSN, the first worldwide score is also from Canada. So I think it just released the last week. Okay. I was waiting for Tida, who is the LSE in charge of FAU, to tell me the pass rate. I haven't got the pass rate for this term's FAU. But just as a random guess, what's the normal pass rate for FAU? What do you guys think? Yes? Just give me a random number. Yes? 50%? Go lower. 30%. I think around it's 20-ish to 30-ish% pass rate per term, per exam. On average. Some year it's a little bit better, is about. Have I seen more than 40%? No, I haven't seen more than 40%. Okay, so the pass rate is not high. All right, I don't want to scare you guys, but it's not an easy exam to do. Okay, but it's very doable. See, CAMED is able to have a top score worldwide, right? So let's have a look at how the exam is going to be. We will have 15 multiple choice questions. Only 15 multiple choice questions. And I would say, personally, the section A with the 50 multiple choice, the 30 mark is the hardest part of FAU exam. Why? Because it will cover all the detailed knowledge that you need to know for the whole FAU syllabus. So it's a lot of knowledge and logic and common sense. Because sometimes the questions are tricky, right? So even when I try to do the multiple choice question, even now, after 10 years, just because the question is how it's formulated, I did not look at one specific word. For me, it's hard to get 100%. So don't think the multiple choice is the easiest part. For me, it's actually the hardest part. It means you need to work. You need to work quite well on the multiple choice. Okay, that doesn't mean 2 days before exam, let's go through some multiple choice, and that's it. Okay, you have to regularly do them again and again until you know you get all correct. Not by memorization, but by understanding what's the logic behind it. Okay, but do not get very worried. We actually have a practice tutorial free for you guys, 2 times a week. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it. Then, the second part of section B will be the writing section. This part for me is easy and hard because what we will do is they're going to have 2 big questions of 15 marks. In the 50 mark question, you're going to have few small questions combined together. Okay, what could it be? It could be a case study, and you need to look at the case study, and you need to find where's the weaknesses of the controls, You need to give some recommendations. You need to identify some risks. So it requires a little bit of more common sense and some practice. Okay. Then you will have two mixed range questions of 10 marks. It can be on anything. Usually sometimes it will be on procedures, on risk. We don't know. Okay. And then after, it will have 4 questions of 5 marks. Usually, these questions are straightforward questions, theory questions. They may ask you about what's the definition of blah, blah, blah. Can you give me advantages, disadvantages of blah, blah, blah. Everything that you already have prepared in advance. So those are theory questions that you probably be able to answer. It's straightforward. You need to know it, memorize it, and be able to keep it up. Okay? So that's how the exam is going to be. If you want to have a quick look on how it is, you can, we have some example in the kit book. Have you guys brought your kit book with you today? Anyone brought their kit book today? Thank you. What I would need you guys to do, oh, the kit book is getting thicker and thicker. The kit book is super duper extremely very hyper important. Okay? For you guys, in order for you guys to pass this exam, you need to do all the exercise in the kit book. Okay? It's more important than my lecture notes, to be honestly speaking. All right? What it means is everywhere you're gonna go for the next 4 months, bring your kit book with you so that you can do exercise anywhere, anytime. All right. There's about 120 questions. We have 4 months together. We started a bit earlier this term, so we will have probably 5 months together. So that's about 20, 25-ish questions per month that you have to do. Okay? I can guarantee you, every one of you, 200%, that if you're doing your regular exercises, do all the kit work for the next 5 months, you for sure be able to pass the exam. I've taught it so many times. It's doable. But how many among you guys will actually go through the 120 questions? That's the issue. Okay? I have a solution for you guys to pass the exam. I just don't know how many of you will execute it. Okay, it's very easy. So I would love you guys to bring your kit book with you. Okay? If you guys have managed to come a little bit earlier, half an hour earlier, just flip and do some exercise. Another thing, sorry, I'm gonna be like a mom nagging you guys, but it's very important. I want you guys to have this idea in mind. Do you guys have any questions for the exam format? No? Okay. So let's go through my advices for you guys. Okay. My student online, if you guys have any questions or whatever, let me know. I'm mostly talking to the student in front of the board, so you probably won't be able to see my face. All right. Please look at this. Okay. Do you guys have that from the lecture yet? FAU, I need you to look you guys all into your eyes. FAU is not an exam that you can study 2 days before. Okay? Why it's not a multiple choice question? You need to memorize and you need to be able to write it down on a blank on the screen, on the blank screen, okay? So you need to study, okay? Even if you're studying, I would say 1 week before exam, it's too late, okay? Because you have way too much definition, way too much theory, way too much exercise to practice, okay? So it's not an exam for them. I've been into your place. I've been a college student, and I do study 2 to 3 days before exam. I did that for a lot of my classes. Very doable, okay? But I learned for some of my classes I couldn't do that. For example, I did taxes. My taxes class had way too much laws, like tax law, whatever that's memorized. I have to prepare that ahead. I don't know if marketing class is easier or not. There's some class I'm able to do that. FAU is not. Okay, I need you guys to understand. For all you guys who are working, are you guys planning to do this exam or is just a class that you need to attend? You guys need to do exam. How about you guys? Yeah? Also need to do exams? Okay. Another thing I want you guys to do. I know what you guys love to do is, I'll take the class now. I'll wait and study on my own and write the exam later on and postponing, right? In FAU class, you can't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Why? Again, you need to write on a blank sheet of paper. You need to memorize. If you guys come to my class every week, I keep nagging you guys, you keep having all these notions in mind, you won't forget it. So when you do the exam in December, it's still fresh in your memory. Okay? If you don't do it now and you wait 6 more months, would you still remember the definition we taught a year ago? Probably not. Okay? Why do I tell you guys that? Because I experienced it. I remember very well. I had a marketing exam. I was sick. I got a medical note, so I postponed my marketing exam. 1 term after. You cannot, I can tell you guys, when I have to study for it 2 days before exam, I look at my notes, and I'm like, what is that? What is this term? I totally forgot everything, right? It was harder to study again 6 months later, okay? So what I tell all my CAP students, commit with me, come to class every week. Please attend every class, come to class every week, do all the exercise, practice with me. You're gonna suffer for the next 5 months, but then it's done. All right. Otherwise, I do not want to see you guys again, right? And you guys don't want to see me again, right? So it will be harder to catch it up. Okay, so I need you guys to really work, give the effort now. All right. So yes. All right. Now, you will have tutorial with udon. It is a must. It's the multiple choice question tutorial. Every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. I know some of you are working. You can attend online. All right? It's just 1 hour of your time, but it'll be easier. I know for my students who attend the tutorial, it's very useful because it will help you to practice the MCQ on a weekly basis. And Udo will speak you guys in the line, and then he will explain to you guys why this answer is A, why is that, so it helps you guys to review the theory at the same time. Okay? Very, very useful. I made the request on purpose so that the tutorial time and our safety class do not end up in the same day, so that you guys are able to attend those classes. All right? Very, very important. You go through the classes, it's kind of like a review for you already. So it'll help you for reviewing the exams. Okay? So please, please go to these tutorials. Okay? I will ask Peter to send you guys the link and information for the tutorials. But what I understood is you guys already have it in your classroom. Right? Yes, I made sure of that. Very, very important. Yes.
On Monday, I study on the
No problem. You can, I think you can click on the video afterwards. I think you can retrieve it. Okay. However, I've been in your place. How many of you guys will actually go back and play back video, or will be depending how determined you guys will be. But I still strongly recommend you guys to click, like, when you have time to click on it and have a look. I would love to be back as a student. I love studying. Now I cannot anymore, but since you guys could, enjoy it. Well, those that doesn't have to work, enjoy it at the maximum. And for those who work, I understand you guys have other commitments, it's harder. So try your best. Okay, I totally understand you guys must be tired from working as well. All right. I love to give you guys homeworks. Not because I want to give you guys, want to bother you guys more, okay? My intention is it's just the same intention. I want you guys to practice, practice, and practice. Because more you practice, more you know how to answer. Okay? What I don't want you guys to do in FAU exam is to be like, all right, the question is, describe two circumstances. All right, number 4, and immediately you go, describe the number 4, and you look at the answer. All right, okay, I've done. You cannot do that, because if you read it like that, it's not in your brain. You just read it quickly. You need to be able to have a piece of paper and be able to write it down. Okay? There are a lot of things you need to manage in an FAU exam. You need to know your theory. You need to know how to write in an understandable way. Okay? Like in proper English. And you need to be able to time management. All right? So we need to practice all that together. So that's why you need to be able to do that. All right? Am I scaring you guys enough? Love it? Yeah? Okay. So that's why after every class, I will give you guys a quick homework, just for you guys to practice and refresh your memory. And I will have quizzes. I used to give quizzes every week of the previous class. However, with the time restraint, I only have 60 hours with you guys. Unfortunately, I need to go through all the theory. So I don't have time to do quizzes every week. So what I'll do is I'll do 3 quizzes during the whole term. Okay? And for my BA students, so I think some of you guys are my BA student, right? You will have a group assignment, just like in BA. The LSC will already allocated your group. So you guys need to have a look and communicate with your teammates. And please I need you guys to, based on the timeline given, all right? There's a lot of work to do. Please make sure to do them, okay? Today is my first class with you guys, so let me count how many of you guys are in class with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 here. And I have, today, wait. 5, 6. So I have 14. Oh, 6, 7. I have 13 of you guys by experience. By the end of the term, I'll probably have 4 of them. Okay? I've been teaching it long enough to know the pattern. But what I hope to do is to be able to keep as much as I can until the end and work together until the end. Once you miss classes, when you miss too many classes, you get discouraged or you don't want to come and then you lose the track and it'll be a disaster. All right? So let's see how many of you guys I'll see at the end of the class. Okay. All right, so before I start with the class, I would like just to present a little bit what we learned this term together. What are we gonna do for the next 5 minutes? Let's have a look. So we start with A. So the first month together, we will have like an introduction of what is an audit, and we will look at the regulation around audit. So a little bit of an introduction and tiny bit of rules and laws and audits. Then the biggest part that we have before the mid semester, we will do a lot of planning and risk. And we will also learn what is internal control. Okay, so that's gonna keep us busy until October. Very, very important. A lot of theory. So before midterm, like we don't have a midterm anymore, but before the mid semester, all this is mostly theory. A lot of theory for you guys to memorize, definition, what's audit, whatsoever. Okay? And in probably mid-October, we're gonna analyze what are the audit evidence and procedure, and we're gonna also learn how to complete an audit. I would probably just say like that. After mid, so here I would say a lot more theory, and here it'll be a lot more application. Okay. So it means you will need to use a lot more of your common sense. You need to analyze some case study. You will need to be able to give your own answer. So you can't memorize for that. You need to use your real brain to answer. Okay. Some of you will prefer memorizing. Some of you will actually prefer this because you don't have to memorize anything. Just understand the logic and you'll be able to answer. Okay. So that's a little bit about how the FAU is going to be separate. Okay. Any questions so far? Do you guys have any questions? No? Any one of you guys are in audit at the moment? You're working in audit? Well, where? Is it the audit? Audit and tax. You're in the audit department or the tax department? Audit department. Do you like it so far? How long have you worked there? A year and a half already. Oh, okay. Then perfect. And I'll be able to ask you a lot of examples of how it is. Do you like it so far? Yes? You like it? Good, all right. I think I read some of the get to know you, and I have other students who are already working in the audit firm as well. Okay. Today is our first class together, so I'll be mellow, a little bit slow. I'm gonna explain how the class works, so it's less intense, all right? Starting next week, we'll go full mode on, all right? Because, as I mentioned, we have 16 chapters to go through, quite intensive. So it'll be challenging. So we will have class on Tuesday and Thursday, all right? Are you guys cold? Yes? No? If yes, please, adjust. I do not mind for that. All right, any question for my student online? So far, so good? All right. Okay, so when I talked about it, one of the, I will, with age, I'm starting to be able to focus less and less. All right, when I work, I get distracted. And especially nowadays, the phone has too much distraction. Such as, you guys go on Facebook a lot? IG? What is the app you guys use the most? Facebook? Facebook? Do you guys use IG actually or less? Use? Okay, we don't have Facebook. Huh, right? You guys use both. I'm too old for that, but for you guys use TikTok? What? No? No? Okay, so mostly Facebook, right? Okay. All right. So, I do recommend you guys to use what we call the Pomodoro technique. I did try it myself. It works. However, close your phone. Completely turn your phone when you're doing it. All right. So turn off your phone, email, whatever. So as a human, it's very hard to focus for a very long period of time. All right. I do believe today we're having a 3-hour class, but I think the 2-hour class will be good because your focus effort will be a little bit better. When it's 3-hour class, the third hour, especially those who are working, some people closing their eyes or their eyes like gazing elsewhere because it's tiring, right? I do understand. What it is you focus for 25 minutes. You do the work only for 5 minutes. And then you take a break of 5 minutes. Do not turn on the phone during those 5 minutes. If you ever turn the phone, do not put it down after 5 minutes for sure. I tried it, okay? So then take the 5 minutes, get a walk, take a snack, make yourself a tea, walk a little bit, but don't touch your phone. All right? Don't check some search. And then do it 25 minutes, and then break again. And then 25 minutes, and then longer. If you're able just to do that once, like, don't even ask for 1 hour. Okay? I'm asking you just 25 minutes per day. You'll be amazing for your work or for school. Okay? So that is what we call the Pomodoro technique. So can you guys hear? So when I don't know, do you guys prefer to study in full silence or with background noises? Full silence? Full silence, you don't know? Okay. Well, then the library would be a perfect place for you. I cannot. I did try to study in the library when I was in Canada university. It's too quiet for me. I like to have some music in the background to help me motivate it. So I took this from YouTube, but there are other ones that doesn't have it. Okay, and what she does is she'll do the 20, she's studying, and she has this music at behind. Okay, and then she'll start the timer, 25 minutes. So I'm putting in the background and I listen to the music and I listen for 25 minutes. And then when it's break time, we'll have an alarm and I'll break at the same time. Okay? Just an example, you don't have to follow it. But a lot of people are actually using this Pomodoro technique. Do you guys know who actually use this a lot? Medical students. A lot of medical students love to use this Pomodoro technique because they have a lot to study, right? So that's about it. And now I would like to talk about the syllabus. Have you guys seen the syllabus for your other classes? Have you guys ever opened it? Never? Really? The syllabus is basically I'm actually getting quite cold. 16. Oh my God. Aren't you guys freezing? That's freezing. Just tell me. Just tell me. May I turn? Oh, this one is off. I'll turn those ones on. And is it worse? No. Turn it off, right? This one not on? No? I'll just turn this one on for you guys. All right? If it's getting on for the guys, let me know. Well, adjust it, okay? Okay. All right. So the syllabus is basically the requirement that ACC want you to know for the FAU class. Okay? So if you go through the syllabus, this is the most updated one from the exam in December until next year. So let me see. All right. So here we have the detailed study guide. Let me open it here so that we can do together. Okay. Oh, can I write on it? Okay. What I want in here is to do the detailed study guide. Okay? That's what is important for you guys. Ça marche pas là. Why? Ah. Oh my God. The detailed study, well, wait, sorry. Let me open it in another place. Hmm? Okay. Is this too small? What did I do? Okay, wait. I'm sorry, huh? Oh my God. Is this too big? Let's see how we can do that. All right, okay. All right. So what I have here is the detailed study guide. And so for example, in the section A that we're gonna learn together, we basically what HCCA want you to prepare for the exam is that you're able to explain what is the nature of an audit. You need to be able to explain what's the purpose of an audit, including advantage and disadvantage. You need to be able to give the definition of professional skepticism. You need to be able to describe the duties and the rights of auditors. You need to, for example, be able to explain what is a risk-based approach. You need to define the concept of materiality. So basically, this is the list of everything you need to prepare and to know for exam. Have you guys ever know that? To look at the syllabus to prepare for exam? No? Well, now you know. That's what they require to prepare for the exam. And then here, I won't go in detail today, but this is the whole thing. So, for example, in what do we need to learn in internal control? You need to describe the component of a system. You need to be able to provide example of processing control and general IT control. You need to be able to state the main factor affecting the sample size, all until here. You need to be able to describe, for example, what is a going concern problem, etc., etc. So that is, how many pages that? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I would suggest you guys to do is to print this out when you're gonna prepare for your exam. And it's kind of like a to-do list. Every time that you study that, you can think of, okay, I know this, I know that, what I still don't know, I need to learn that. All right, so it's a very, very important to-do list for you guys. All right, do not worry. I will guide you guys if you attend every single classes for the next 5 months. I will go through every single one with you. All right, so that's why it's easier to come to class because I give you the summary. I tell you what is important, right? Rather than you looking in the whole book by yourself. All right, so that's a very, very important document. Okay, so what we do during the next 5 months, I make sure to cover every single one of these. So these documents are included in the classroom, okay? It's in the classroom in the document to use. Document to use here, okay? So if ever you guys need to know where to go, it's in the chapter 1 document to use. All right, okay. Any questions? No? Okay. You guys are quite quiet. I hope you guys will be more talkative with time. All right. Okay. So I think I have covered almost everything I need before we start the real class together. Okay? So now, let's start the class. Whenever we have a 3-hour class, we'll take a break. Mid-class, around 1 hour 15 to 1 hour and a half. So around 7:15 to 7:30. Between that time, I'll give you guys a break. Okay? Usually, I'll give you guys 10 minutes. have a quick break or whatever, and we'll come back. When we have a 2-hour class, I will see how it goes, okay? I have never had a 2-hour class yet. I used to be giving a 3-hour class. This term they changed it. I did give 2-hour class when we had online class during COVID. But then we didn't have to take a break. So I'll see with you guys if you guys needed a break or not. Okay? And that's it. All right, let's start the class then. So today we're gonna start with the chapter 1. The purpose and scope of an audit. Basically, we want to learn what is an audit, generally speaking. So at the beginning of each chapter, I will list the syllabus that we're covering. Okay, so in this chapter, we're going to explain the nature and purpose of an audit, including the advantage and disadvantage. We're going to explain the nature of what is an accounting records, including the proper records. We will also talk about the concept of true and fair and what is reasonable assurance. And finally, we will we'll read today, have a look on what is the auditor report to see what's the form and content of the auditor report. I'll see if we have time. If we have time, we'll talk a little bit about internal audit. If not, it'll be on next class. All right? Okay. So, when someone tells you they're not, decide, what's your name? Bon. Good. Beside Monk here, who's an audit, anyone else an audit here? No. So when I say audit, what do you guys have in mind? What is audit? Just like that. Yes? What is an audit? Anything. Can be good, wrong, or what do you guys think when we say audit? Yes? No? You guys can be quiet. Can I have your name? Yes. Make what? Yes, make what? What is audit for you? Okay, verifying the transaction, all right, very good. Yes, what's your name? You're avoiding my eye contact. What's your name? Yes. Okay, okay, thank you. Oh, wow, you give me like a real technical term, okay? Have you learned that, studied that in some other classes? Which classes? Here, well, what is the class that you guys learned at? I know, D student, I see, okay, good. Yes? Check. Give advice, okay, and check the internal procedures, okay, wow, okay, very good. You guys actually all have a good minimal, knowledge, how about you guys? I have a check arrow fraud, wow, okay. Looks like you guys actually have a lot more, basic. Because when I tell my friends, when I just started working on an audit, they just think me as an accountant. And in Canada, if you're an accountant, you're someone that does taxes. So they would start asking me all these tax related questions, which I am not good at. Oh my God, are you good in taxes? No, not at all, right? It's kind of like asking two different people that work in the same field, like architect and interior designer. Are they both doing the same thing? They're both doing completely different things, but they're all both helping to build a house, right? So tax specialists and auditor are all in accounting field, but they're totally different. Just like doctors, they have different fields, right? So audit is someone who checks things. Okay, we're not the one who makes the daily records, who register, who records the sales, the expense, and do the calculation. We're not the internal accountants. We are someone who goes and checks their books, right? So here I have a little story. I'm gonna go quicker. So let's say, so this is guy is Alex, and he wants to open a new flower shop, but he doesn't have enough money. So he'll ask this rich investor, Jane, to invest in his flower shop. Okay, so she will have, because she invested, so she'll have more shares, and will ask Alex to help to manage the flower shop. Okay, seems like a good deal for both. They both gonna earn more money. But then at the end of the year, Jane was expecting to earn more than $100,000 for the flower shop. But Alex told Jane, at the end of the year, sorry, we only earned $1,000. So what do you think Jane thinks? Is she happy about it? No. What do you think she is thinking about? Did Alex do his job properly? Did Alex steal money? Or did Alex able to find customers? So she doesn't know about that. She's not in accounting or finance like you guys. So what will she do? What would you recommend Jane do in a case like that? So, this is not working. Okay, so how can she obtain the assurance sheet? What's the solution here? Is to have an external audit. That's how audit was created back then. Is most of cases because the shareholder is not working in the company, they are not there every day, but I invested money, right? So I want to make sure the money is spent correctly and that people who manage did not steal my money, right? And that's why we have an external audit. So it's not working well. Okay. Whenever I highlight it like that, it means that you guys need to remember it. What I would suggest you guys to do is to have a little booklet with you, okay? Like a little booklet on the side. To write down all the answer of all the things required in your syllabus. So when you study at the end of the term exam, you take this little booklet and you study it, right? Rather than look into every page in your lecture. So this is more efficient, right? There's two ways. Nowadays, you guys use your computer You can take it and put in a Word or write it down. I'm a bit more old school, I like to write it down because when I write it, I'll memorize it. I type it, I'm not able to memorize as well, okay? So up to you guys, but you guys need to have a notebook, either electronically or physically, of everything you need to do. Okay, that's very, very important. When I was teaching BA, I actually forced my students in BA to do this, and I checked it at the end of the term. I did. It was quite intensive, but it worked well. It worked really well. I remember one of my class, a small class, I think there were back then classes in BA were 20 something. I think now how many are they in BA? 100? I think more than 100. Back then we separated into 20 or 30 students per class. And we have quiz every week, homework every week. And also update the notebook. I check it once a month. But I remember that when my groups that they are very good chemistry, I think among 30 of them, only one did not pass the FAU exam. Still passed it. Okay, so it's very good. It's just a lot of work from your side, right? Okay. So why audit is so good and so amazing? Let's have a look on what are the advantages, all right? I think the first one I would like to talk about will be the third one. Arguments between the partner will be avoided if the account are checked by an independent auditor. Right now, Jane doesn't trust Alex. Alex is upset because Jane doesn't trust him. So the solution is to have someone very important here, the key word, independent. Not related to Alex or not related to Jane. To check if all the transactions have been recorded correctly. If the auditor say this is correct, then Jane would be like, all right, maybe that's the reality, and I'm more sure, right? Also, when your financial statement is audited, it would give a better credibility. The financial statement is more reliable. Would you rather look at the financial statement prepared internally or some financial statements that are checked by independent auditors? So for example, when you want to get a loan for a bank, is the bank only going to look at your financial statement that is not audited? No, because you can put any number you want and lie to the bank, right? So what they want is, make sure you get them audit the financial statement and see if you're really able to pay them back, right? So it gives a greater credibility. Also, if you have more reliable financial statement, you're able to attract other investors to invest in your company. Okay? Now, can everyone go and do an audit? Can anyone perform an audit? Perform an external audit? You need to have a proper license, right? You guys know what are the requirements before you can sign an audit report? For here in Cambodia, I think the only option would be to pass the whole ACCA exams, papers, right? So now you're doing the CAT papers, which are the preparation foundation papers, right? And then you all have to do the F papers and the P papers, right? I did not do this, I did not do the ACCA, I did the CPA, which is the Chartered Accountant in Canada. So it's slightly different, so I did 4 years in university for a bachelor in administration, similar to what you have. And I did a specialization in audit, very intensive. Probably you would consider a 2-year extra study, kind of like the P paper that you guys may have to study after if you want to become an auditor. And then after that, you need to work for 2 years before being able to recognize to get the ACCA title here, for example, or the CPA title. Then you'll be able to sign an audit report. Okay? So an audit is performed by someone who have a broad knowledge of the accounting record. So you need to study a lot of accounting theory and concept. And we need to be someone who is objective. What is objective? Someone not biased. Someone that is impartial, not biased. You guys know what it means? Not biased. Objective means for example, if I audit my brother's company, am I being objective? If I audit my brother's company, can I be objective? No, because that's my brother. I may hide some of his error and fraud, right? So that is what we want for objective. You need to be having a fair and impartial work. And lastly, during an audit, we will analyze the client's accounting system. So we're going to talk about that in chapter 7. We're going to need to analyze the internal control of the client. And we will be able to detect some weaknesses in the client system. And what we do is at the end of the audit, we will provide them with a management report. And in the management report, we're going to tell what problem we found in the system. And we're going to be able to give them some recommendations, some improvements. So with an audit, we have an added service that we will be able to help the company's internal control system here. Okay, so those are the advantages of an audit. All right. Now, the audit is so amazing. Why not every single company is being audited? You guys know why? It's very, very expensive. Wait, I think the minimum audit, I think that's one of the main things. An audit is not cheap. I think the minimum, with nothing to do, an audit costs at least $5,000 in Cambodia. Minimum, but this is minimum means there's nothing to do. But they need to give you a report, kind of thing. But it can get more and more than that. So audit is super expensive. So it's an extra expense for a company. Okay. So not every company wants to spend this money. Okay. Especially if it's a family-owned business, doesn't have any investor. This money, it's the dad who's making it for themselves. They don't actually really need it, right? We would need a lot more audit whenever there are different parties, right? Now, another thing, well, in Cambodia, a lot of people don't want to get audited because they don't want the auditor to find all all their revenue from, right? Because they're outside of it, right? So that's another reason. But here we need to look at the official reason why. Time. Time and this similar together. When you do an audit, you go to the client's, it's basically like that. Auditor is someone that, for example, when your mom asks you if you have cleaned your room, and she doesn't believe you. So what she does, she come into your room, and she checks everything. She opens the drawer, look at everything, if it's folded or whatever. Do you like that? No, you don't like when you get invaded, right? By someone to check if you have done your job correctly or not. Basically, that's what an auditor is. I don't believe you if you have done your work. I'm coming to check on you. So we're gonna go and disrupt your daily routine. Normally they have things to do by themselves, and now I'm like, hey, can you stop what you're doing every day and show me if you did this correctly or not? And then the staff usually will have to invest a lot more time, right? So they may have to work overtime, they need to do extra work. So usually, are you welcome when you go to do audit? No, okay? And as I mentioned, well, you're basically not trusting them and checking their work, so you're not very appreciative. In Cambodia, however, I think the culture is a little bit different. When it's the auditor, usually people are a little bit scared or more respectful in generally speaking, or treat the auditor very nicely. How about, is that what you get? Yeah, right? They would treat you, oh, you're like, not a god or whatever, but you'll be like, oh, I need to make you happy so that you check and you're like, are you okay? You need water, you need things, right? I don't get that one. Once I got even kicked out by the owner, screaming. Like, why are you touching my things? Go away. Like, they don't really like it, right? And they won't bribe you or whatever. I think one time when I did an audit, the owner really don't like the auditor. So they shoved two of us in a storage room that is small. Like very small. I remember. The room is kind of just like that. It's a small room like that with a table and two chairs. And we are inside the whole time. And nobody cares about us. So it's totally different, right? Here I find that usually elders are quite low. I remember KICPA. KICPA, the Kampuchea Institute of Auditing, they came to audit our firm. Like we really treat them in okay, we bought them bubble tea, we like all in anything, and it's like totally different experience. All right. Okay. And I'm gonna skip that and just go to the definition of an audit. Can you guys let me know what is the page? Well, so page 12. So since we're talking what is an audit, so I think some of you guys actually remember. An audit is to enable the auditor to give an independent opinion. As auditor, we're only checking one thing, and one thing only, which is the financial statement, okay? So whether the financial statement, so I need to see these words, are prepared in all material respect in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework. This is a new term of what is an audit. When I learned it, I don't know if this is what you guys have learned or heard before. Audit is when the auditor gives an independent opinion on the financial statement, whether it is true or fair. Have you guys ever heard of that? No? Yes? So that's the old school definition. Nowadays, it's for this one. Let's learn this one. Again, is this important for you guys? Very. So I want you guys to highlight it and also put it in your book. So the auditor to express an independent opinion on whether the financial statement, the document that we're going to be using, are prepared in all material respect in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework. Basically, what it means is we have the financial statement here. We have the asset, the liability. We have the number here. Okay? For example, so the client will give us a financial statement. And us as auditor, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check it. We're gonna check that and see if the numbers they have here follow. For us, the applicable financial reporting framework that we're gonna use is IFRS. So basically what it means here in audit is that I'm an auditor. We'll check if the financial of the client follow the IFRS or not. And we need to express an opinion by providing a auditor report express opinion in an auditor report. All right. Can you guys read my writing? Oh, and I'm a bit old, and I'm not good with technologies. All right. So again, the auditor, what is an audit? Is that the auditor will check the financial statement of the client to see if it follows the applicable financial reporting framework. Okay. Most cases now around the world, we use IFRS. In Cambodia, we use CIFRS, Cambodian International Financial Reporting System. All countries in the world use that, except, for example, United States. They don't use IFRS, they use US GAAP. Okay? But most cases, it means IFRS. We're going to go more in details about that in chapter 3. Okay? And after we check to see if it follows IFRS or not, we're going to give our opinion in an auditor report that we're going to read together today as well. We're going to say, yes, it follows the IFRS. I'm saying the basic word, okay? But it will say, yes, it follows the IFRS, or no, it doesn't follow the IFRS. That's what the opinion is. That piece of paper is what cost $5,000. At the end, the auditor doesn't give you anything besides that piece of paper. Okay? And that's what an audit is. So let's go for a little break.
Yes, and so when we come back, we'll do a little exercise. All right, so 10 minutes. At 7:30, we'll come back. Okay? It's still quite cold for me. Is it just me or also for you? Why is it for me? Really? Are you serious? My student online, are you guys okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, okay. Let me know if you guys are back. So we're gonna go on break until 7:30, okay?
All right, I'm back. So let me know, my student online, Bunit, if you can hear me well. I guess maybe they're not back yet. Okay, are you guys ready for some exercise together? I turned off the aircon just to warm the room a little bit. It may get hot, so I'll put it back, okay? It's okay like that? It's okay like that? Let me know if you guys get hot. No, the hot, all right? Okay. So I would like just to start with a little question. So we will do a bit of questions like that. So you either can use your phone or have your laptop or a computer to do it, okay, for your future classes, all right? Okay, so let's see. In real exam, the question may be a little bit harder than, but it could start if for 10 marks question. The first question will be what is an audit? And then the second, third question will be getting harder and harder. Okay? So that's a the beginning of a question. So let's have a look. What is an audit? And then state 2 advantages of an audit. Let's try together. You guys want to try? Without looking at the notes. In exam, you won't have the notes. Right? In exam, you have a question like that. And then it'll be outline. Right? So, how are we going to do this? What is an audit? Anyone want to try? Okay. I think it's our first class. You guys may be a bit shy. I'll start, okay? But after this class, for all the questions, I will wait. You guys all submit your answer and we're gonna look it together. All right? Okay. About that. It's a 2-mark question. What is an audit? And any one of you, I don't have a good memory. Moncot. What is an audit? An audit is? Okay, an auditor. Okay, very good. An auditor express and all good. An auditor in an audit express an opinion, right? On the financial statement. All right. Okay, financial statement. All right. Not so bad. Expresses, all right, okay, expresses. All right. If this is a 2-mark question, but this is already pretty good, well, how much would you give this on a 2 marks? Yes? We need to get 2 points. If you write that, how much do you think you're gonna get? 1? Another is another express an opinion of in real life, probably 0.5. I see all your shock questions. Not bad. Very good. I have some starting point, but in order to get the full 2 marks, I would need to see more keywords here. Okay. For example, an audit express an opinion on the financial statement. Very good. But however, we need to probably also enhance the fact that he has to be independent. right? It's either you can say an independent auditor, or a independent opinion, right? Okay, that's the first thing I would probably add. And then, is that it? How does it express an opinion? Based on what? What did we talk about? Based on the framework, right? Okay. If you say an independent auditor in an audit express an opinion of financial statement based on a framework. It's probably a bit more. 1 point. But it's good, already you get half. But so the framework is excellent. You got the idea. However, how is the framework? What is the whole thing? Do you guys you want me to refresh a little bit of memory with the applicable financial reporting framework? Because if you just say framework, it can be, I don't know, math framework. It can be a physics framework, right? Here we need what framework is it? Financial reporting framework. If you don't have the word applicable, it's still okay, but you have to tell me it's the reporting, it's the financial reporting framework. Not about physics, not about chemistry, not about math, right? You need to specify. Okay, now. And then when other than audit express an opinion on the financial step based on a material based on the applicable financial framework. I'll give about 1.5 here. Okay. Now, the next term, it doesn't have to be word by word, but I need those keywords. For example, in here, where's my pen? Where's my pen here? Okay. I need some keywords here. I would like to see. So I need independent opinion, keyword financial statement here, the framework, and here we will talk about it a lot more in chapter 5, but we need to also insist on the materiality aspect. It has to be in material respect, okay? Meaning that we haven't got there yet, but we have to make sure the financial statement doesn't have any material errors or fraud. Okay, so there's the materiality concept here that we also need to include it. Okay. So an independent auditor in an audit express an opinion on the financial statement, whether it is prepared in all material respect based on the applicable financial framework. Now, if you get all that, you'll get your 2 marks. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I just want you guys to see what's the challenge in your audit, in your FAU exam. The level of details, the level of a keyword and understanding that you need to prepare in order to write the exam. Okay? So now, stage 2, advantage of an audit. Is it turning on by himself like we said? It's okay, you guys are not too hot, huh? Yeah, okay, all right. All right, so I just want you guys to have a wake-up call on how much you need to study and prepare for your FAU exam. Now, question 2. State 2 advantages of an audit. Yes? What are 2 advantages of an audit? Okay. Objective. Okay, and then? And then? Independent audit or independent audit. Independent audit. All right, okay. Good initiation. Now, may I ask you, if you write that in exam, how much do you think you're gonna get for 4 marks? Very good idea. I do totally understand where it is coming from. So the idea is excellent. Now it's the execution on how to write it, right? Now, if you write that in exam, I've seen it. I've corrected exams before, like mock exam and everything. Few years, 10 years ago, it was not in computer. It's still on a piece of paper, and we send it to get corrected. And I see answers like that. For 4 marks, how much do you think we can give for this? 2? What do you guys think? Another try? I'll be generous to give 0.5. The idea is there. So you would think when you get out of the exam, you'll be like, I talked about it, it's very good. But objective, what? Whose objective? The client's objective, the cleaner's objective, the security guard objective. Objective about what? So who is objective here? Auditor, right? At least to tell me advantage. So, and another thing, don't write one word in exam. All right? The corrector won't like it. So the question was advantage, right? One advantage of an audit is that the auditor will be objective and knowledgeable regarding the financial reporting process. Okay? Now, does it look better than just write objective? But you got the idea. It's just now how to develop it, how to write it. And you'll be like, how are we going to do that? Practicing. You need to write again, and again for different questions to force yourself to express decently in English writing. Okay? All right. So one advantage. All right. Now, second, independent audit. Could you elaborate here for me? Someone else? Anyone want to try? If you don't forget that, remember just the story we talked about. What was the story we talked about? Alex and Jane. What's the other advantage of an audit? In your own words. What was the idea behind it? You guys remember? Yes? Do I need to call you guys? You want to try? What was the idea? What was the other advantage? Well, why Jane and Alex would need an auditor? Go. Huh?
Need assurance about the business, very good. And independent audit will help to obtain the assurance about the business operations and avoid or you can use your own word. Independent audit will help to obtain the assurance about the business operation and ensure all the shareholders the about how their money, is spent and be reflected properly in the financial statements. So independent audit will help to obtain the assurance or an independent audit will help to obtain assurance of business operation and ensure that shareholders know how their money is spent and that is reflected properly in the financial statement. Or in another word, prevent conflicts between shareholders and the management, right? Here. So is that a lot more different? Would that be able to get 4 marks? We'll get 3 to 4 marks about that. Okay, you need to give a little bit of details, explain in your own words. So here probably if I want to write it a little bit better, I'll elaborate a little bit. One advantage of an audit. So again, in exam, I would like you guys, after each idea, you skip a line. Why do I do that? Is it easier for the corrector to see 2 ideas here? Or is it easier when you assemble everything together? What you want to do for the corrector is to be able to be clear and easier for him to correct you. So remember, 1 idea, 1 line, skip it, okay? Make it easy for the corrector to read for you, all right? One advantage of the audit is that the auditor will be objective and knowledgeable regarding the financial reporting process, will be objective and knowledgeable regarding to ensure the operations are correctly presented in the all right, okay. So that would be how you would need to write your answers. Okay, I'm here. I'm gonna submit it. So you guys, when you guys review, please go back to these class activity and redo them. All right. But this is how you need to expect to work in my FAU class. All right. Okay, good. So we did 1 question. Okay, so let's continue. Am I stressing you guys even more after an hour together? Yeah, a little bit, a lot, a lot. It's doable, very doable. But as long as you guys stay stay with me every class together. Okay, and we practice together. You go to tutorial with Udon and you do all the exercise in the table. Okay, and you'll be fine. All right, so let's go back to the company. I wanted to do that first so that we do an exercise. So I want you guys to have a clear picture of what we're gonna do. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the financial records. I'm gonna skip to this first, okay. So, what we have, it's that the management have the management have the responsibility to keep all these accounting records during the whole year. So every transaction that happen in the company, they will need to record it. Okay. Whenever they purchase new stock, they need to update the inventory records. They need to regularly update the cash flow. They need to follow up on the receivable and the payable. They need to update the non-current asset. We also need to have the sales ledger, right? So this is what an accountant in the company needs to do on a daily basis. You need to record all the sales, the purchases, and so on. What they do, the management at year end, they'll collect and update all these accounting books, and they will prepare at year end on the 31st December the financial statement. So what is the financial statement? I think you guys know what is a financial statement, right? Normally it has how many statements inside? It has 4 statements plus the notes, okay? In FAU, we will only focus on the first 2 statements. So the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, and the statement of financial position. In reality, we're not only focusing on these 2 statements, we'll also have the statement of cash flow and statement of change in equity. But those 2 statements doesn't need a lot of work. You can do the audit work within a day or 2. Okay, these are what we need to do a lot more work. Plus, when we talk about financial statement, it's not only about the numbers in the asset or sales, expense, etc. We are also responsible for all the notes in the financial statement. That's where the big part of the financial statement. Those are important. Okay. Have you done any notes? Do you do the notes? You don't check the notes, right? Okay. Usually the notes will be done by at least a senior, yes. All right, okay. So that's why I say here, the management need to be able to disclose at any time the financial position of the company. Meaning, in other words, meaning that the management needs to keep updated record at all times, right? Here, the management need to keep updated accounting records, right? Why? Because the management have the responsibility at year end to prepare the financial statement. That's what it's just that the same thing. Enable the director to prepare the financial statement of financial position and competitive income in accordance with these 2 objectives. Management needs to regularly keep updated accounting books in order to prepare the financial statement accurately. at year. Okay. Any questions? No? So. Who are required by law to be audited? Okay, well, generally speaking, in UK, all listed companies, what does it mean by listed? Public companies that we can buy their shares on the, exchange, SEC, how do you say SEC in English? The whole word. We can buy in the stock exchange. Okay? And, can you give me any example of listed company that you know? Apple, what else? Amazon, but it's not called Amazon, they are another company, I forgot. Samsung, Coca-Cola, what else? Nike, all this are listed companies. So big company that you can buy their shares, on the market, okay? Why is someone NGO required to be audited? How does NGO get their money? From donors. So what does the donor want to make sure? The money is properly spent, right? Back in the days, I was here during my high school years, so long time ago. And there are quite a bit of NGO here, right? But you see them in Range Rover cars and everything, so then you wonder where the money being spent at, right? So NGO also required to be audited to make sure the donors' money are being well managed, for example. In Cambodia, we have a new law, which is not only listed company that are that meet some requirement. For example, they have more than 1 million sales. If they have more than 100 staff, what's the third one? Oh, the assets is more than 1 million, I think. Then they are required by law in Cambodia to be audited. That's why now, the last few years in Cambodia, we have a lot more auditors. Because they have a lot more auditors, okay? But even before this law came in place, 5, 6, 7 years ago, before COVID, we had a lot more auditors. Do you guys know the big four auditors? PwC, EY. So the first one who was in Cambodia was KPMG. That was like 20-ish years ago. KPMG, and then we have Deloitte probably came after PricewaterhouseCoopers, and then Deloitte and EY. Why they suddenly all came within the last 10 years? It's because what happened in the last 10 years in Cambodia? What do you guys think? Cambodia actually developed quite fast before COVID. What do you guys think? I remember when I just got here, 11, 12 years ago. What was the mall that was that's the only mall that had a cinema? Not Olympic, is it Olympic? No, it's not Olympic Mall. What's the mall around? What's the mall nearby Olympic? City Mall. Do you guys remember City Mall? I don't know, maybe you guys are still very young. So still maybe 10 years old? Yes, maybe less than 10 years old, so you don't know yet, but back then, 12 years ago, City Mall was the only place that you can watch movies, like a cinema. Within the 10 years, we have like building like Eon, like all kinds of shopping malls and everything in the block. Why? Because we had a lot more investors. Japanese investors, a lot of Chinese investors, so there are a lot more people investing in. If there are more people investing in here, what does this investor want? To be audited, right? Because they invest the money. Are they staying in Cambodia? Probably not, right? So these people actually want, there's a lot more demand on audit the last 10 years. Okay, and that's why the audit field is a good field to be in right now, because there's a lot of job opportunities. Okay? So, personal company, small company is not required by law to be audited, but you can, by your own choice, to get audited. Okay? And this is the law in UK. So you need to keep 6 years for public company and 3 years for private company. But I think here in Cambodia, due to tax, you need to keep your document for 10 years. 10 years, right? So every country will have their own rules. Okay? This is the rule for UK. Okay? Which is the one included, so it should be the one you guys will be tested in. Now, who uses the financial statement? Of course, the main one is the shareholder because they are the one who invest money, right? The second people who actually use it would be the banks. Why? The bank use it because the banks wants to know if the company has enough capacity to pay back their loan or not, right? And most of them will require all the financial statements. Okay? So those two, I would say, are the main users of financial statements. Now, why suppliers, customer, and employees will also want to look at the financial statement? What do you guys think? One, supplier and employees wants to also look at the financial statement. What do they want to make sure? They want to make sure the company is able to pay them, right? To pay their salary and to pay their payables, right? Now, why customers sometimes also want to look at? I'll give you an example. In Hong Kong. Oh, I don't know if you guys, I did not know, but I'm born in Hong Kong. So I'm from Hong Kong, right? So that's why it's a powerful example. So in Hong Kong, the living standard is quite high, so the salary is actually higher, right? So a personal trainer would cost about $80 to $100 per hour. An accountant and auditor in Hong Kong as a junior would start at 3,000 and more. And a good tenure professional gets more than 10,000 per month. But the rent in Hong Kong is also the same. The rent actually takes more than half of the usually your salary. It's very small and very expensive in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is as for housing is as expensive as New York. Okay. If you want a room by yourself, it's at least $2,000. Not in the city area, far away. At least $2,000. Okay, so you can see a little bit. Now, what I say about that is, in Hong Kong, they like to sell you packages for gym training. So you have this chain of gym, and then they would hard sell you like, do you want to train? And if you train, we'll buy a package. You train, you buy a package of 10 hours. Normally it's $100 per hour. If you buy 20 hours, it'll be 20% off. So in one shot, the customer will buy 20 hours. So how much is 20 hours? 20 hours plus $2,000, so they pay, $1,600 to use for 20 times, right? Real story, I think it was more than that, I think these people would pay $2,000 to $5,000 just for the gym, to use for a whole year, right? And from one day to another, all 4 chains of the gym closed down and went bankrupt with the customer money. So very be careful for you guys as a customer. If ever you need to pay in advance for the services or beauty shop, or they like to do that, nail shops, beauty shops, gym or whatever, make sure that company won't go bankrupt. Okay? As a customer, as a smart customer. And of course, I forgot. Who are very much interested in your audited financial statement? The tax officer in Cambodia, so probably the first one who wants to use your financial statement, right? Okay. All right. Now, when we talk about an audit, the old term here, I think in your syllabus, they still, I think in your syllabus, they still want you to explain the concept of true and fair presentation. So let's have a look. Okay, so the audit, for another definition, the audit is to express an opinion whether the financial statement gives a true and fair view. So gives a true and fair view equal, it's the same thing that present fairly, in all material respect in accordance with the applicable reporting framework. Okay? Please don't copy all that. You can just say, go back to that, go back to previous stage. Okay? So here, I just wanted to tell you guys it means the same thing. So audit is to enable the auditor to express an independent opinion whether the financial statements are prepared in non-material respect in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework. It's the same thing as express an opinion whether the financial statement gives a true and fair view. So maybe for you guys, I think that if I'm a lazy student, I would rather just memorize, give the true and fair view. I would not guarantee you will get the 2 marks, but you will at least get 1 mark for sure, because that's the proper thing. So it's a give and take. Okay? But now, the proper way of saying it in the new term is in material respect in accordance with the applicable reporting framework. For me, I'm a lazy student and I'm okay to lose a little bit of points. But it depends, right? But I think with 5 months together, you should, as an auditor, as a student in audit, be able to memorize them. Okay? That's only the first definition you need to remember. You have, I think, more than 100 definitions to memorize. So what does true mean? And what does fair mean? Fair, we already talked about it. Fair means, that's what my daughter keeps telling me, when I wear something nicer than her, she'll say, it's not fair. I have uglier shoes than you, right? So what does fair mean here? Fair means, I don't think she used the word fair correctly, but fair means that, it doesn't, she wants to say it does not equal, but here it means that we don't give any biased opinion. We, no matter who we're auditing, we will give the same results. Okay, we'll give the same audit results. So it's free from discrimination and bias, and we have to be impartial when we do our work. So that's what fair means, not bias. And what true means, it means it's correct, means it conforms with reality. I want to give you guys an example here. Let's say I'm in a restaurant, okay, and I buy broccoli. All right. Do you guys like broccoli? Yeah. Okay. Let's say I'm in a restaurant. I need to record my cost of broccoli, right? And the staff went to buy the organic, free of pesticide broccoli from Eon that cost $5 per branch, and she bought 10, so that was $50. Okay. What me as auditor, I'm not there to judge if you make a good purchase or not. Okay, I'm not there as the management to evaluate if you make a good decision here. Clearly, if you're a restaurant, would you buy organic, free pesticide broccoli for $50? You wouldn't do that because you would lose money on the plate, right? Or you need to charge your broccoli for $15 per plate. Who is gonna come and eat it, right? But me as auditor, I'm not involved into the decision operation. I just want to make sure it conforms with reality. If our client spends $50 on broccoli, I just want to make sure in the financial statement in my cost, I see $50. Did you guys understand my idea here? What I want to make sure as auditor, what they have spent, what they have done during the year in the company, it's correctly reflected in my financial statement. Okay? If they spend $100, I want the financial statement to record $100. If they spend $200, it spent $200. If they spend $5, we see in the financial statement $5. It's correctly represented. It's correctly reported in the financial statement. That's how it's done. That's what the audit do. I just want to make sure whatever they did in reality, if the invoice says they made a sales of $150, I want to make sure in my financial statement, it's really written $150. That's all. Okay. If they make a good sale, if they make a loss, if they make a lot of profit or lose a lot of money, it's not my concern. I want to reflect what has happened in reality. That's why I say here, it conforms to reality. Whatever is presented is correctly extracted from my record. Okay, that's the whole core of audit. Okay. Because in real life, it would happen that I don't know. I'll do something a little bit
better than that. For example, let's say they want to buy the air conditioning, okay? They're building a shop and they're buying air conditioning. So, the shop spend air conditioning, the air conditioning for $2,000, right? And the shareholder, the owner came to the audience and said, hey, how come you didn't come and tell me that my staff spent $2,000 in an air conditioner when we can buy one at $500? And then we have to explain to the owner that our job is, we're not a consultant here to how to improve your process, okay? We're just here as someone to say if you spend $1,000 on an invoice in your air conditioning, I make sure the $1,000 is recorded in my financial statement. That's all. That's my. I will get there and need to tell you they overspent. You understand? That will be a job of a consultant in the consulting or in the internal business. So that's what true and fair is. So true means reflect the reality, and fair means not biased, right? They make impartial decisions. All right. Auditor can only provide reasonable assurance. What does reasonable assurance mean? It means not 100%. Do you guys understand? Not 100%. Not absolute assurance. What does it mean, absolute assurance? Means you guarantee 100%. All right, I'll just give you guys an example. Let's say I'm the auditor of Lucky Supermarket. Okay, Lucky Supermarket. Let's make an estimate together. How many transactions do you think Lucky make a day at their store here at the exchange store? Make a guess. How many transactions do you think they make? 50? Like per day? 100? Okay. Well, let's say 100. All right. Okay. So 100 per day. Here, all right then. 100 per day. How many days in a year? 365. How many stores do they have? Let's say 30 stores. Can you give me the number of that? How much would that be? Yes? 1,095,000. 95,000 transaction. So for Lucky, if you want to guarantee absolute assurance, it means that you need to go and check 1 million transactions. Do you think it is possible? Impossible. In audit, we don't test every transaction. You'll die. Okay, nobody's gonna work. We don't test every transaction. We do sampling. We take samples, right? We will do what do we call that? Probability theory, and we'll estimate if in my sample I don't get any errors, I'll estimate the population doesn't have any errors, right? So the first main reason why we cannot guarantee 100% is
I don't check 100%. So there is a risk that the sample we pick is not reflecting the reality, right? That's the first limit why we cannot fully be 100%. Second is we're gonna learn a lot about that. In audit, we use a lot of professional judgment. It's not like in math. For example, 1 + 1 = 0. Like it's a certain certainty. In audit, the laws in audit, when I ask you to audit, it will say, determine how risky is the client. Is the client high risk, medium risk, low risk? Based on your judgment. That's what is written in your thing. So you will need to think. For Lucky Supermarket, for example, is it a high risk client or not? They'll think. They use an SAP. They use a good account operation system. So whenever they scan, someone buy it immediately take out from the inventory record, put it in the cell, and the record are immediately updated. So they have like a better management of their inventory. Maybe for me, as an auditor, I would say it's medium. I don't know, for super duper, they use manual, for example. Okay. No, super duper actually it's Thai-book, for example. Thai-book, have you guys been to Thai-book? Thai-book, yeah. They have 2 stores, no, 3 stores, so easier to manage. So they do manually. So for me, maybe Thai-book would be more risky, right? This is my judgment. But another auditor will come and say, well, Thai-book only has 3 stores, easier to manage. So for them, Thai-book will be less risky. But Lucky have so many stores, so many locations of thief or whatever that we hire, so each person's judgment will be slightly different. So we cannot guarantee 100%. Okay, so that's why, because we use professional judgment, and each person will have a personal different judgment, right? So we cannot guarantee that it is 100% of it, right? Now, this we will talk about it in chapter 7. Normally, if for example, if every time, I'll just give a example of accounting back in the day, long time ago, we want to make sure that we only allow students to come to school and not any outsiders. So every time you come to school, you need to show your nameplate to the security guard. Okay, and the security guard will be in front, and then you need to show. I think after 1 week, the security guard stopped asking or looking at. Okay, I think what they noticed is that we asked the security guard to check the nameplate. The first day they checked, how many students comes in back and forth? A lot, right? So after 2-3 hours, the security guard doesn't want to check anymore, right? And then they just let people go and pass, and after a week, they even bother to show it. Okay? So even though we have some regulation put in place to ask humans to follow, because we're human, we're not robots, we cannot guarantee that the human will always do it every single time, right? Maybe one day you're sick, or maybe at that specific moment, you were looking at somebody else or talking to somebody else, and you did not check the name, right? So because we're humans, we're people, we cannot guarantee, all the procedures have been followed correctly every single time during the whole thing. Okay? We're gonna go in more details about that, okay? Because it's very long, I won't be able to go in detail. When we talk about that, I'll come back to this. And finally, all the evidence are persuasive rather than conclusive. All right. May I ask you guys, is accounting your first choice when you guys decide to want to study here accounting? When it's being forced by your parents? Or by yourself, or it's because it's easier to find a job or whatever? May I know why you guys chose accounting? Anyone want to share? Yes? I'm listening. Okay, yes. Why did you choose accounting? Yes? Why did you choose accounting? Oh, and that's why you came? How about you? Why did you choose accounting?
I think accounting is good only for a person to speak like if I go and talk, it's not fit to me.
Oh, really? So you like, so, oh, you mean you don't speak a lot?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if you want to become an auditor, you have to talk a lot. So me, do you guys know why I wanted to be in accounting? I got misled by my brother, who is in accounting. So I thought accounting would be cool and everything, so that's why I chose accounting. But initially, when I wanted to study, I did chose that in for another university. I chose criminology. You guys know criminology? Criminology. Studying crimes. I wanted to become an investigator, to study like crime and solve murders and things like that. And I don't know why I didn't. And I thought like my brother as an accountant would be cool. So I went to business school instead. But sometimes I would kind of console myself and say, I'm actually doing similar things. I'm investigating instead of a murder, I'm investigating numbers instead. Okay? So I would like to explain this using crime. Do you guys watch any crime shows? CIS? Have you guys watched CIS? No? Law and Order? Yes? CIS, PSI, PSI? Law and Order, and what else did I mention? Yeah? Crime, right? So these are what every episode is a murder. Someone died, and they have to investigate who killed it, right? So I'll give you guys an example of evidence that are persuasive and conclusive. Conclusive evidence means we are 100% sure. Okay? If there's a murder, we have a video of the murderer killing the victim. Now, is this evidence conclusive? Very, right? We have the fingerprints on the knife with the video filming me killing it, the blood on my DNA on the murder and on my clothes. That is what I call conclusive evidence. There's a murder. We don't know who's the murderer. We have persuasive evidence such as the neighbor heard there is a fight going on, okay? And the neighbors think she saw me running out of the house, but it was midnight, no lights. And we have to investigate. We know that me and the victim, we have some money problems. The victim owed me money. In here, are we 100% sure that I am the killer? No, right? Here, the evidence is either what we call persuasive evidence, like we believe that because I hate the victim because he owed me money. A witness saw me running out of the house, and we saw some of my DNA in the house. Okay? We're not 100% sure, but they can just be sure that I was in the house on that day. Doesn't mean that I killed him, right? I could have a fight with the victim. Maybe someone came and killed after, right? We're not 100% sure. So that's what we call persuasive rather than conclusive. In audit, the fact that we do not check every single transaction, we do sampling. It's a persuasive evidence because we're like, in my samples, I did not find any errors. So I believe that the whole population doesn't have any errors, right? Another thing, most cases, I want to know how many samples do you guys do, for example, for expenses or sales? 70 samples, right? So even though the highest, for example, is not a year, I'm surprised that in Canada we just do mostly 2,500. So we just test 70 transactions. If there's no errors, the sales doesn't have any, right? So that's just the nature of audit that we do, make it that it's impossible to provide a absolute assurance. Okay? In exam, probably don't talk about the criminology and murder and victim. I wanted to give you that to you guys to visualize. But persuasive means it's the evidence that I'm not 100% sure, right? It just leads you to believe. That's what persuasive means, right? The evidence leads you to believe that the result is not 100%. Right? So this will be your homework for next week. Okay? A tiny homework. I would want you guys homework. State 3 reasons why an auditor can provide absolute assurance whether the financial statement are true and fair. So the due date is next. Okay. All right. Okay, so next week, next Thursday. Do you guys know how to check your homeworks? Right, in the upcoming year. So now you have a homework now. So this homework is due on August 1st. Okay? All right. Doable? Easy? Okay? Yeah? All right. Okay. Yes? Now, I think it's a long day. It's the first class together. So this will be our last slide. I'm going to read the report and we'll call it a day. So we still have we still need to read that, but that will be That will be it. I'll start the internal audit, next class. Okay, all right. So, after we talk about all that, what I said, auditor, at the end of the audit, we don't give anything to the client, just that piece of paper, the auditor report. That's worth sometimes $1 million. Okay? So, I would like today to read an audit report with you guys. You probably won't understand anything in it, but you'll be amazed that we'll do exactly the same thing on our last class together. And you will understand every single word. Okay? So let's try that today. I'm seeing less and less my students online now. Okay. So here, in my document to use, I have a independent auditor report of SBI Liho Bank. Have you ever heard of the bank? Yeah? Not the Liho Exchange, but the bank. It's a commercial bank, yeah. I chose it because I'm in the audit committee. I'm the independent audit, the independent director of the SBI Liho Bank. So I'm the one who oversees the audit to make sure their internal audit is done properly and to make sure their external audit is done properly. Okay? And we have the audit report here. Here we go. All right, okay. Can you guys see properly? Yeah? Okay. I'll read it quickly. There's some part we're gonna skip because we won't need it, but I'll read it properly with you guys, okay? Bear with me, it's gonna take a while. Like few minutes, all right? Okay. Independent auditor report to the shareholders of SBI Liho Bank, the shareholders. Our opinion, what's important in that, the whole, basically this whole page, this whole letter, usually the shareholder doesn't look anything else, only the first sentence. Opinion. Do they have any errors? Yes or no? That's it. Okay, mostly. In our opinion, the financial statement present fairly in all material respect. The financial position of SBI Liho Bank as at 31st December 2022 and its financial performance and its cash flow for the year then ended in accordance with Cambodian International Financial Reporting Standards. What we have audited. The bank's financial statement comprised of the statement of financial position, the statement of profit or loss, the statement of changes in equity, the statement of cash flow, and the notes to the financial statement, which includes significant accounting policy and other explanatory information. So here we see that they don't have any problem, right? Okay. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with Cambodian International Standard on Auditing. We're going to learn that in chapter 2. Our responsibility under those standards are further described in the auditor responsibility for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. We are independent of the bank in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants. And issued by blah, blah, blah. We for professional accountant, including international independent standard,
issued by the IE, International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants, and the ethical requirement of the Cambodia Institute of Certified Public Accountants and Auditors Code of Ethics for Certified Public Accountants and Auditors that are relevant to our audit of the financial statement in Cambodia. We have fulfilled our other ethical responsibility in accordance with the IESBA code and the ethical requirement of the KICPA code. Ethics in audit is very, very, very important. So we're going to talk about that in chapter 3. And for sure, you're going to have questions on ethics in exams. Okay? And then after, we will have a responsibility of management and those charged with governance for the financial statement. Management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statement in accordance with CIFRS. And for such internal control, as management determine is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, management is responsible for assessing the bank's ability to continue as a going concern. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the bank's financial reporting process. So I'm the one charged with governance here in this case. All right. And then we have the auditor responsibility. Our objective are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but it's not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with CISA will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatement can arise from fraud or error and are considered material. If individually or in the aggregated, they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decision of users taken on the basis of these financial statements. We're all going to learn that. And then as part of the audit, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism. So here we have all this. I'm gonna skip it to pair your thing. And then at the end, who is the auditor for this? It's PricewaterhouseCoopers from Langhee. So that is what an audit report is. And we will learn at the end of the audit that you will understand every single thing in here. Okay? So that's the document that every company that have to be audited need to attach before presenting their financial statement. So before presenting their financial statement, they'll always attach the independent auditor report before to certify that my financial statement is reliable. See, that's the audit report. Okay. And that's all for today. So I would like to talk a little bit about our schedule. Okay. I would like to apologize because I'm not in town for the next few weeks. So some of the classes will be online. Okay. So this week I have some important meetings. So our next class will be on the 1st August online. Okay. Then so only just this 2 weeks I have a very important commitment that I can't be away. So that's why we are having 2 classes of 3 hours. This week 3 hours and next week 3 hours. Then the week after, we'll go back to our regular classes of 2 hours on Tuesday and 2 hours on Thursday. However, those classes will be online for 2 weeks. Okay, I'll probably be back in Cambodia on the 20th. Okay, so just the next 2 weeks, exceptionally, it's a 3-hour class. And the week after, it'll be 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. It'll be online for you. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, today's our first class. So I specifically flew back this morning. I arrived from Hong Kong at 1 this afternoon to have the first physical class together. Okay, and so I'll apologize ahead, but the next 2 classes will be on. So thank you for attending the class physically today. I hope you enjoyed. Did you enjoy? Okay, not stressed too much. Okay, so the next 2 classes will do it online for the moment, at least for the 2 next weeks. Do not hesitate to message or contact me. I'm very easygoing. However, I will check your homeworks. Okay, I have 2 homework for you guys this week. What is it? Please fill the form for me, get to know you, and give me 3 reasons why we can only provide reasonable answers. All right, so I'll see you next Thursday on. Okay, bye-bye. It will probably be the only time we can finish early. Just to let you guys know. Yes, very important. Please keep it. Thank you. Oh, everyone left. Oh, no, not yet. All right, let me come. So bye, everyone. Bye, my students online. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, Christina. See you next week online. Bye.